Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Carly and you're watching Sewscape. It's been a little while since I posted. I'm so sorry. I went on vacation and when I got home I just really wanted to sew. I didn't make much time for filming, so I apologize, but I've got a couple of really fun projects done. So I'm gonna film the process of this next project that I am so excited for. I've really been looking forward to this ever since I saw the previews for the patterns. So we are going to be sewing from the April 2023 issue of Burda Style. The front cover is very beige. I love when they're bright and springy, but I guess like this kind of suits the weather that we're having here where I live, and everything is very gray and beige. And so what we are going to do is we are going to be sewing these awesome jeans. So on page 29 here, there are these lovely flare jeans. So they're made with a stretch denim and they are really quite fitted in kind of the tummy and upper thigh area, and then they bell out at the bottom. I think they're so cute. I love how they styled it with these square toe shoes. The only thing, I have a couple problems with this pattern. The first one being it doesn't sit at her natural waist. It's looking like it has to be lifted about 2 inches, I would say, in the front, but we're gonna measure. I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna make those alterations to the pattern. And then the other thing about this pattern, it has a side zip and it says, oh, it doesn't add any bulk. I find whenever I wear pants that don't have a fly on the front, I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like more people are gonna be looking at my crotch because it looks different than usual. I don't know why, but in my head, I look at my crotch more because I'm like, where are the buttons? Where's the zipper? We're gonna raise the rise. And apart from that, we're just gonna make it as is. So this is the model that goes up to size 48 here. So I'll tell you what those measurements are. So to go up to a size 48, which means that the bust is 43¼ I guess bust doesn't matter for this one. So the waist goes up to a 36¼ and the hip goes up to a 45¾ inch measurement. So that sounds great. So according to my sizes, I'm gonna do a measure before we go because my sizes are changing all the time. So I hate doing it, but let's measure so we make something that fits really awesome. All right, so I don't know if that just recorded. I kind of was recording and then my camera turned off. So I might not have been recording or it overheated or something. So my measurements go from a 44 at the waist to a 46 at the hip. So I'm going to be doing that. And then as we extend it, I'm gonna measure and make sure everything is sitting perfectly. And yeah, that'll be great. So we are making these 110A trousers here. So it says that we're gonna be tracing the pieces on the sheet D and it's gonna be the green pattern line. So I am gonna be tracing, I'm gonna start out tracing the 3rd line, and then as I get to the hip area, I'm gonna grade out to the 46. So let's start tracing this pattern. It's looking like, as far as pattern pieces go, we have a front pattern piece here. Oh, we have a back pattern piece that is cut into 2 because it's just a little bit long. It doesn't fit in one piece. And then we have 2 waistband pieces. And I might kind of do a straighter waistband because I am making this waist high. So I don't even think I'm going to trace those pattern pieces. I'm just gonna make a flat straight waistband. So I'm gonna do this and then I'll show you the alterations that I'm gonna be doing to the pattern. All right, so now I have a little marker along my waist. So this is sitting where the top of the pants will sit, and then the waistband will sit up an inch higher. So this is about an inch lower than my natural waistline. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be measuring my crotch curve. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy. It's gonna look a little crazy. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the measuring tape in the back and hold it where that sits there, and then I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna measure here. that is sitting at 29 inches through. So that means we're gonna go through and we're gonna measure our pattern pieces, and we want it to be 29 inches divided by the 2. Alright, so I measured the front of the crotch curve and that came to 10 inches exactly. And then the back crotch curve was 16.5 inches. So 16.5 plus 10 is 26.5. So if we are trying to get to, oh, was it 28 or 29? I'm gonna have to watch that footage back. I'm pretty sure it was 29. I'm gonna rewatch. So say it was 29, we're at 26.5, that means we need to raise it 2.5 inches. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split that rise between the front and the back. So say 2.5 on each, we're gonna raise by 1.25 inches on each pattern piece. So now that we have how high we need it, we need to see if we need to cinch that in or angle it in or take any of the extra bulk out of the darts. So now we're gonna measure our actual waist and we're gonna see what that measurement is, and we're gonna kind of grade up into that. So I'll measure that now. I'm pretty sure I measured it earlier and I think it was 32.5, but maybe it wasn't. Let me double check. Okay, so I measured again, it was 34. So I'm going to measure the front piece along the top where we just drew our new seam line and around the back, and I'm gonna times that number, I'm gonna multiply it by 2, and that's gonna give us our full waist measurement. And then whatever that measurement is, we're going to subtract our waist measurement from what the pattern piece is, and then we are going to evenly take the extra out of all of the seams and darts. All right, so I just went and I measured those up. So as you're measuring your edge, you want to follow exactly that, the line that you drew. You don't want to kind of, you want to follow every curve. And then once you have that number, you subtract the dart. So on the front piece of the pants, the dart is the same for all sizes. So the dart is 1/2 inch. So my measurement for the top of my front was a 9.5 inch for the 1/4 piece. And so I subtract the 1/2 inch of the dart, and that equals 9 inches. So 9 times 2 is 18. So the front of my pant is 18 inches across. And then on the back, piece was 11 inches. And then the dart was 1 inch wide in the back. So then we subtract the 1, and that gives us 10 inches. So 10 times 2 is 20, plus the 18 is 38. So that means our full measurement at the waistline where we want to attach our waistband is going to be 38 inches. So my waist is 34 inches. So that means we need to take 4 inches out of the total waist measurement. So I like to split this up through the side seams and then the back darts. I don't want to mess with the front darts because I don't want to make them too curvy. Hi everyone, it's been a couple days since I filmed the last part of this video. So I had a little break at work earlier in the week when I filmed that, and I just kind of whipped home and took the video. So let me explain a little bit when I'm not so rushed exactly what I was doing, or the alterations that I made. Raise the rise, and then on the sides I took in up here 5/8 of an inch on the side seams of the front and the back. So in order to get the exact measurement that I was looking for, I had to take in 0.66 of an inch. And that isn't a measurement, so I thought I would take it in 5/8 of an inch. And then once the garment is made up, I'm going to baste kind of from the high hip up. And then I'm gonna try it on, and then I'm gonna kind of squeeze in the extra and make it fit perfectly. So I'll show you guys how I do that as I go along. I was gonna do an exposed button placket on the front, but I don't wanna run to the fabric store. It is 45 minutes away and I have really limited time today. So I'm gonna do a zip fly, especially because this is the first time doing these alterations and I've never done an exposed button placket before. So let me make sure I love the fit before I make another version with a button placket. All right, so the pattern pieces that I have so far to sew this up is I have a front piece that I have added this extension onto. So this is gonna be our fly front extension because the pattern is drafted to have a side zip. But I like having a fly, I like having a button, I like the decoration it adds. So what I've done here is I've gone and I've added 1.5 inches, or sorry, it's 1.25 inches, and then I've added a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So it's 1 3/4 inch total addition here. And I made it 7.5 inches long because I feel like every time I've made a set of high-waisted Burda pants, it calls for a 7.5 inch zipper. So that's what I've done here. So I haven't altered this front dart here because I don't want that to be too curvy. I've just kind of taken off that 5/8 of an inch and graded it out on the sides here. And then I have the back piece. And I did the same thing on the side seam of the back piece. I've graded this up here and I've taken off that 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And so we'll still probably need to take off more, but it's easier to take off more than it is to add anything back. So we will just kind of try on the pants once everything is put together, and then we can take a little bit more out. I was gonna alter this dart, but then I got a little bit worried because in the pattern piece, no matter which size you were, the dart was the same size. It was just in a different place. So we'll see just how much more fabric we need to take out once they're made, and we can do that. We can add some more to the dart if we need to, but I feel like it'll be pretty close. And because right up here, this isn't gonna be sitting at our waist. This is still gonna be sitting about 1 inch below our waist. So it won't technically be exactly our waist measurement. So I'm afraid to make it too small because, you know, I want these jeans to be comfortable. They have stretch, but I want them to fit really, really well. So that is my little tangent there. So I have the front piece, the back piece. We'll cut out 2 of each of those. Sorry for the paper rustling. And then I have a little pocket piece here. So the pants do not have a back pocket, but I am the kind of person who always has my phone in their back pocket. Front pockets I can totally live without. I almost never use them, but back pockets are definitely useful in my life. So I know my tried and true, my favorite jeans pattern is a Burda, I think it's 11-20-21. It's these denim culottes. I love them. They're gorgeous. I went to go grab the pocket piece out of that because it's a lovely pocket, but it was no longer in there. So I must have used it and put it into a different pattern envelope. So I traced out, this one is from the Closet Core Morgan jeans, I believe. Last time I made pockets for pants, I just eyeballed it. And I was kind of like measuring. Here, let's see if I can show you. I measured almost exactly the same, so I think this will be pretty good. So I just have marked in my seam allowances because I'm gonna play around with my back pattern piece to see where I want the placement of this pocket to be. It's gonna be a little hard to kind of judge the placement without the pockets being on the pants, but that's fine. We're just gonna go through it and we will get it done. So right now that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mark the pocket piece. And then for the waistband, I measured a couple of my ready-to-wear jeans, and the waistband measurement is 1 3/4 inches. So we're gonna measure out that pattern piece on the fabric. It's gonna be, so 1 3/4 inches plus 1 3/4 inches equals 4.5, right? Is it 3 and, no, 3.5, sorry. But it needs to be 4.5 inches because I'm gonna add another 1/2 inch of seam allowance on the top and the bottom of that waistband. So we're gonna cut out a piece that is 4.5 inches wide, and I'm just gonna do it the whole width of the fabric because we will see exactly how much we need as we are going through. So I am going to do that. The fabric, so the fabric that we are going to be using today is, I bought it online. I bought it from, sorry, all these little frayed edges, from Fabricville. I normally shop at Fabricland. I know it's not an independent, it's kind of like, I bought it at Fabricville online. I went into a few of the Fabriclands while we were road tripping, and I was looking for this because I knew it was online, but I couldn't see it in any of the stores. They only had the dark wash. So this is the bleached indigo 8-ounce stretch denim. So it's a 93% cotton or 3% spandex. And it's a nice light wash. It'll get even lighter with every wash, and it's nice. It has some stretch to it, not too heavyweight, not too lightweight. So I think this will be perfect for the spring and summer even. And I think these pants are gonna be so cute. I really had the idea of kind of having the 5 gold buttons down the fly, but I'll put some gold rivets on the back pockets and it'll get enough of that gold fix in there. And then we're gonna do some gold top stitching on these pants. So I'm gonna give this fabric an iron and then we'll get started cutting out. So this is my back pattern piece right here. So here's the dart that we had, and so I'm going to take this pocket piece here, and normally on jeans at the bottom of the dart is kind of where the pocket sits. And I'm gonna center it pretty good in here. I think this will be perfect. My grain lines of this and this don't match up. I wonder if that'll be a problem. Future Carly, I'm sorry if that's your problem. And so I'm gonna center it here and make sure it's looking pretty straight. I think that's looking really good there. So I'm gonna make the marking on the pattern piece just with my pencil here. So when I ordered this fabric, it said it was 44 inches wide. It turns out it is actually 59 inches wide. So I ordered so much of it here. I ordered 3 meters and I think they sent me almost 4, like 3.5. So that's quite a bit extra, which is amazing. Love that. And so I have this all lined up. I measured out just to see kind of how much I had used, and it was about 170 centimeters, so not even quite 2 meters. And because my toxic trait is I like to save as much fabric as I can, because looking at all this fabric, I'm thinking, I bet you I can get another pair of maybe skinny jeans out of here, because you know everything comes back in style. So I have the front and the back laid out here, and this pocket piece here. And then over up in this corner, I've decided I'm going to split the waistband into 2 pieces and have a seam up the middle. And I'm gonna cover that up with a belt loop anyways, and this will make it in the future easier for me to alter these pants if I ever need to change anything about them. And then over here beside the pocket, I'm gonna cut out some belt loop strips. So that's what I'm gonna kind of put in this layout here. And so yeah, I'm gonna cut this out, and really it did not use that much fabric. So this is amazing. If I don't kind of like it, I bet you I could even make another pair. It looks like there's definitely enough fabric to squeeze another pair out of. So I'm gonna cut this out and get my sewing machine all set up and get ready to sew. So I just took a little lunch break and now I'm going to go set up my sewing machine and I'm gonna sew up these pants. I'm not gonna film a lot of the how to sew these pants because it's very straightforward, and this video is more about altering a jean pattern that you have. So let's go sew these up, and then when it comes to the try on portion, I'll show you where I'm at. So I just did my second try on. I'll show you here. So my first try on, I actually pulled the zipper teeth right off of the tape, and I thought, okay, these pants are done. I'm gonna have to redo the entire zipper, but I got it back on. I watched a tutorial. I will post it in the description if that ever happens to you. So when I did the try on this time, I put on, I just sewed some basting thread around the edges of the tape so that it wouldn't come off. So I think the fit is really good. The first time around, I took it in just an extra 5/8 of an inch on the side, and it is looking really good. These are tighter pants than I normally wear, so you know, that's just how it is. It's gonna be a little different. I definitely feel like I am in middle school again, because that is the last time I wore pants like this. So I'm gonna take my son to a swimming lesson, and then I'm gonna come back and finish the waistband, the belt loops, and hem the bottoms. And then these will be done. I am missing kind of a front pocket. As I'm looking, I'm like, oh, there's not a lot going on here. And I feel like for my body shape, I don't know if it's best to like highlight that, but it's 2023, so we are owning it and just feeling comfortable in our bodies. So that is what we are going to do. We'll see you guys later. Hi everyone. So I intended to end this video at this first reveal that I showed you, and then because I had worn them to work all day, I was really happy with them, and then I watched the footage back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have some serious fit issues to adjust here. So I went in and decided that I was going to alter the pants. I hate ripping out a waistband, especially when there's like nice top stitching that I spent so much time on. But I knew I wouldn't reach for these jeans all the time. So what I did was I unpicked that waistband, I put the jeans on, and then I pinched out exactly how much I would want to take out to make them fit like a glove. So I did that. So I put them on, I pinched it out, which I should have done at my first try on, but it was late and I was really excited about finishing them and I wanted to wear them to work. So I guess my advice to you guys is, if you are really excited about a sewing project and you want to make it the next day or wear it the next day, take your time, let it sit for one more day, because it's going to take you a full extra day of sewing to rip out that waistband and readjust the pants, but it's doable. So make the adjustment so that you wear the clothes. So I went in, I pinched out the extra, and it ended up being about 3 inches that I took out of the pants. It was maybe a little bit too much at the interface waistband, but it's fine. They're still comfortable, and I feel like they really snatch my waist and look really good. I don't really wear this tight of pants around my thigh usually, but I'm actually loving it, and I love the kind of bell shape that the flare bottoms give. So I think that's really cute. I would say with this pattern, I made it based on the size recommendation that they give in the magazine, and I would say like that's probably the size that you would make if you're making this out of non-stretch denim, because like there was a lot of extra ease, especially in this seat. So I would say if you're gonna make this, you probably could squeeze it out of non-stretch denim, even though in the instruction it says stretch denim only. So yeah, if you're using a stretchy fabric, I would go down a size, because maybe even 2. I had to take 3 inches out of mine, so it is up to you. So this is how I rise the waistband of jeans and the adjustments and fit alterations that I do to make things fit me perfectly. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have the most wonderful rest of your day. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, and you can turn on the little notifications so you can get a little ding every time I upload a video. And I will see you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.